Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time y'all watching this, man. It's Marquis Walker with the THHC podcast, episode 68. Corey Drumz. We're gonna be discussing the album LSB963, and I'm blessed with the Queen SP from the Powaful Impak show. She will be breaking down this album with me. And I'm blessed to have you. What's going on, Queen? How you doing this morning? How you doing this tonight or whatever, whatever it is over there?
It's tonight. Just chilling. Just chilling. Came outside to hide because the house is noisy. I said, let me get on outside and sit out here and jam to some music while I'm talking with you.
It's always good to do the car test. You do the car test with people's music?
All the time. Any car I buy, the first thing I play is Everlasting Bass to see what the system sound like.
Okay, yeah, you got to test it out. You got to test the water.
Yeah.
And speaking about music, hopefully before the special guest hopefully arrives, I did give him the link. Come on, Corey Drumz, where you at? We're gonna talk about some new music that came out today. And if you guys watching this or you guys watching this for the first time, if you have some artists that you want to say release today, put it in the comments below. But today we're just gonna go with some music that I listened to today. And there was other music that did come out as well, but I didn't get to it. But this is some of the music that I listened to. Number one is Patty Honcho. He put out a album with let me get the producer wrong. It wasn't hip. Oh, hold on. I got the name for the producer, but it was Patty Honcho. He got a EP called Brawler, Round 5, and then Snoop came out with a album called DODR. I don't know what the acronym is yet, but I'm pretty sure it's something with the dog or something like that, whatever it is. Did you hear SP that he acquired Death Row Records? He has Death Row Records now. He owns it. I can't.
Yeah, I seen that.
Okay.
I seen that. I was kind of excited because I like to see what he does with it. I am hoping that it will still maintain that gritty sound that we loved from them. But it's a new day, it's a new age. Snoop is a new artist. He's on a different plane. So we'll see. We'll see what Death Row give us.
This is his first release off Death Row. It's his album. I listened to it at least once today, and it's not that bad. I like the album. It seems okay. It seems like he's going back to people writing his lyrics. I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but it seems like it's a little lyrical, not lyrical, but it got more bars than an average Snoop song. Let's put it that way. And it feels good so far. We'll see. Number 3, Jasmine Sullivan. She re-released Hotels, but called Motels, the Deluxe. So she put out 10 more tracks, but 5 tracks of the a snippet, and then and then the songs go leading up to the snippet leads up to the song. You know what I mean? So it's good. It's good. I still do hear an echo when I talk for some reason. SP. I don't know why. And then number 4, the Queen. Speaking of the Queen, Mary J. Blige put out Good Morning Gorgeous. Did you check that out?
I haven't checked out anything. I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't. We're getting ready to launch something big. So I've been hyper focused on that, and I haven't listened to anything. And I probably wouldn't listen to Mary J. Blige and Jasmine Sullivan too much anyway, because I ain't in love. I don't want to hear that shit.
Valentine's Day is coming up. What's going on? You got no boo-boo?
Yeah, me, myself, and I.
Valentine's Day, they got a special thing for Polar.
Nah, I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it this year.
That's all right, Queen. Number 5, Jamal Johnson and T the Truth they put out a beat tape. You know, that's what we used to call them. It's called Dig for Gold Volume 1. All instrumentals. It's dope. I listened to that on the way home to get me into a smooth mood groove. You instrumentals, you drive to them, you know what I'm saying? So I liked it. So check that out. Number 6, I don't know if you heard this single because it's been out. The single been out for a while. It got leaked, but Pusha-T put out a single called Diet Coke. Did you hear that, SP?
Nope. Haven't heard that. Haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything. I've been pretty focused on what I'm doing right now. So only thing I'm listening to are my guys, like Know It All and Backwoods Sweetie and Vernon Hayes and Rome Wise. Whenever he dropped the album.
Oh, Rome Wise, yo, you got some angry fans out there.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I'm just here to make the peace, man. So I guess still hasn't showed up. I can see if I can. Do you have his contact? You don't have his contact information, do you? I'm out because I'm recording on my other phone, my phone too as well, and I don't want to.
Let me text him.
Yeah, see if you can text him real quick while I keep talking and
all right,
ready. So I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about these albums that came out. I'm gonna bring the albums back out. So I listened to Patty Honcho, Brawler. Y'all gotta go check that out. Dope project. You know I'm reviewing that. Did I already review it? Let me see if I already reviewed it. Nah, I didn't review that yet. I reviewed Real Bad Man, Smoke Dizza, Mood Swings. Go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Ty Ferris and Trox. Talked to them I talked to them on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Corey Drumz in the house. I have to introduce him. Wait till SP get back. SP, you hear me? SP.
All right, I'm back.
He's here. So let's get this party started. You know what I'm saying? Coming to the stage, man. Corey Drumz, conscious hip hop artist from Hollis, Queens, New York City, now in Los Angeles, Cali. Younger son of RCA Records, A&R legendary singer, songwriter, Larry Banks, and soul songstress. I don't want to mess with the names. Jabi, daughter. These names gonna get me. He's gonna beat me up. Daughter. I'm gonna say Jadea. Thanks for helping me. Help me out.
She's dope. She's fire.
I'm gonna have to tap into her. Who's an R&B singer. Founder of Banks Brand Music and Ironclad Entertainment. He got 2 EPs out currently right now. One called My Life for Real, and he got Betrayal, a musical mini movie. Please, everybody, welcome Corey Drumz to the show. What's good?
Yeah, what's good, y'all?
What's going on, brother?
Hello.
How's everything, man?
Everything is light, family. How y'all doing?
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming to the show, man. We really appreciate it, man. The THHC podcast and SP. I still hear echo. Do you hear echo, Corey Drumz?
Nah, I don't hear the echo.
You don't hear the echo? That's weird. I hear it like for some reason when she has it off mute.
Yeah, I'll put it on mute if I'm not talking.
I appreciate it. It's like it's drowning something out. I don't know. But all right, Corey Drumz, man, I really appreciate it. Actually, SP is the one that actually introduced me to your music. Like, we're so much hip hop enthusiasts. We trade back artists and we talk about artists all day on social media. And she introduced me to you, and I introduced to a couple other MCs and lyricists. And man, as soon as she did, man, I was a fan, man, right off the gate, man. So, like I said, welcome, man. And you want to introduce yourself anymore? You say something for intro or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you did pretty good. I mean, I'm a simple dude from Hollis, Queens, New York. I live in LA now. One thing I correct you on my kids' names is Jadea. Correa is her name, and my mother's name is JB, Jaibi.
JB.
But everything else, spot on, family, spot on. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm bad. If you watch my podcast and you watch my reviews with music, I'm bad with names. And some of the names just be, I'm a great reader, but the names, I don't know what, for some reason I get.
All right. Now,
like,
a lot of people have problems with my daughter's name because of the way it's spelled. You know what I mean? That's why it's actually capital J, lowercase a, and capital D. So it shows you the second half is day.
Oh, okay. We got Lady T in the audience saying hello to everyone. What's up, Lady T? Actually, we're just on her podcast, so y'all go check out Lady T on Instagram as well.
No doubt. No.
SP, tell us about Corey. Come on, man. You're the one that introduced me. What's up? Tell me. Go crazy on.
Corey's music is it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I heard this first album in 2020 when he was coming to No Knockoffs radio.
Yeah.
And this album has stuck with me since then. I listen to it at least once a month. N.A.N.C.Y is by far, it still does something to me every time I hear it. Corey Drumz, not just him, but his whole family is fire. They are so talented. And what I always love about Corey is he's family oriented and he big ups his kids, he big ups his family, and you just don't find somebody who's so willing to big up other people in this industry. I love that about him. His music is fabulous. And this last one that we're not covering, that mini movie.
Yeah.
Talk about it. We can talk about this is a show. Talk about it. What about mini movies? Talk about it.
Yeah, Betrayal's it's a fictitious mini movie that I wrote in hip hop form, where it's all audio, but the audio is so visual that it's actually a movie. You know what I mean? It's not songs, it's scenes, and it's actual dialogue in the form of drums. It's different, bro. It's different. I had a good time doing it. I originally recorded it in 2007. It's funny because I recorded that right before I recorded Let Drums Make You Famous. And I recorded that Betrayal album in about a week, maybe 4 days to a week at most.
Yeah.
And then right after I did it, I did Let Drums Make You Famous album in like 3 days.
What?
Yeah.
You hear that, SP?
Yeah, he's a spitter. That's what I've heard him freestyle, so I can't even, I can't even cap. Like, it took him 7 months to write that. I already know. I know better.
All right.
Yo, Corey. So
yes,
this is what we're gonna do, man. I don't know, you never seen the show, but I break down like a lot of music. It could be old school hip hop, new school hip hop. It could be Stevie Wonder. It could be anybody I love. It could be rock and roll. It could be anything, right? As long as it's a good music, right?
Yeah.
Like when I listen to an album or a project, I really get a feeling. Music. You get a feeling. It's a mood. It's right?
Indeed.
So I always break down when I break down somebody's album, song by song. I kind of like we're gonna introduce the album. We're gonna talk about frequency, and then I'm gonna talk about how I felt about that song. SP's gonna talk about how she felt about that song, and then you can tell us whatever you want about that song. Like it could be a story, it could be your lyrics. I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? How you felt. So if you don't mind, we can start.
Let's go.
You want to start up? You good? You start? Ready?
Sure.
You got something else before we start?
Yeah, I'm good. Whenever y'all ready.
All right, cool. So we'll break down the album, but then we'll have some questions for you afterwards. Is that cool?
No problem.
All right, appreciate it, brother. All right, so check this out, man. We're gonna put the credits down there. We're gonna put the tracks down there. Yo, Corey Drumz, LSB963, April 9th, 2020.
That was my birthday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, what was it? Sorry?
That was my birthday.
Oh, that was on
I
your
did a lot of
birthday.
releases on my, yeah, all my albums, all my album releases were basically on my birthday or a day that is equivalent to a 9 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yo, that's what's up, man. So
I
now I
don't
gotta
know
be like those
scientifically.
numbers, on those spiritual numbers or something for you. That means
Yeah,
something.
it's all about my spirit. It's all about spirituality.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's why I just came from a show. I told you,
Yeah.
I came from a spiritual show. I just did a show just recently on
In
Lady
fact,
B.
LSB963, LSB part of it is synonymous to life, spirit, body. It's the macabre. And the
Okay.
963 is the 963 hertz that the universe frequency is. So, I mean, I just move in universal numbers, universal alignment, but try to move in that aspect as much as possible. When I'm not aligned, I have to get aligned. So,
Yo, you just stole one of my first questions, but that was, what was the album title about? Yeah, let's get into the album then. So I'm gonna break down the first track. SP's gonna break down the track, and then you can break it down however you want. We're just gonna keep going through the album, and we got questions next. All right.
No problem.
All right. So number one, frequency, right? So when I first heard frequency, man, we're talking frequency and how it's so important. You know what I'm saying? The importance of music. Hey, SP, can you do the mute thing? I'm sorry, because it's echoing. Yeah, okay. All right, so frequency, right? When I first heard it, we talking frequency, like how it's so important, in just the music genre, just in music in general. Frequency can be, and it can be used as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? I got that from this song. I'm like, oh, that's dope. It could be used for a weapon. It could be for bad or good. You know what I'm saying? That's just dope. I just just to be reminded about that. It's like, oh shoot, this dude. And then I say, how will Corey Drumz use it? You know what I'm saying? Or is he the weapon? That's what I'm saying. Are you the weapon? Or like, what I'm saying? Or how you gonna use your music? Are you gonna use it as a
song frequency is me connecting and expressing the fury that frequency can bring. I mean, when you look in a lot of stuff, like with the spiritual stories, everything is dealing with sound. You can knock down a wall with a sound vibration. You know what I mean? They tell you stories in the Bible about it. So when you know how to utilize frequency, you're able to build and create, but you're also able to destroy and manipulate. So the song frequency is really about bringing attention to, learning frequencies and learning how to master them so that you're not mastered by them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like it's really the LSB album pretty much is rebellious, as you can hear.
Yeah.
But there's a purpose behind it, because with destroying yourself, you have to. We're creating a better balanced self. Let's say that. You have to destroy the self that was. And with destroying the self that was, you have to pour the cup out and find the different definitions of things that you thought were, and you have to take feeling out of it. So things like frequency, light, thick vibration, they don't have feelings. They don't have emotion. They just are. So they resonate with what they're supposed to be resonating as. They're not trying to be like an A sharp is not trying to be an F. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about being the frequency that you are and mastering that frequency, and knowing that all of the frequencies are what make harmony. There's no one frequency better than the other. You just have to learn how to master them all in unison in order to either build or destroy.
Build or destroy. SP, you got to chime in. What you thought about frequency, the first song?
So frequency is big. Is big for me, because I've been saying that we're out of frequency, as a culture. And when I hear frequency, it talks about how to line yourself up again. It is one of those songs that if you listen to it and understand what he's saying, you can take a lot from it and apply it to your own life. Because often I listen to frequency and I was like, okay, you got to change it up. You can't stay on this same plane. When I heard frequency the first time, I wrote, he's working on a higher plane than everybody else right now.
Indeed.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
love
appreciate
that.
that.
I love
I
that, man.
appreciate that. Thank you, SP.
No, that's dope. That's what I'm saying. That's why I do it, because everybody feels something different. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I love this. Lady T says frequency, the levels of energy. That's dope. This is the one with the spiritual show, man. I just did an interview with her. She's dope, man. Lady T, go check out her podcast, man. Number 2, man, Cant Crucify Me. Now I go on this one. I put church organ heavy, head nodding track, can't be ignored. MOP sample on chorus, got the track on fire as well. Loving the religious undertones. So for Cant Crucify Me, that's how I felt.
Wow. That's not even MOP, bro.
It's not MOP. Who is that?
That's me, man.
That's you.
Yeah, that's a
See, this is why I like having the artists on the show. Explain that song.
I'm from that era though, like MOP, Billy Dance.
That raw, yeah, the raw.
You know what I mean? Fame, that's my bro. So, you know what I mean? I love the comparisons. You know what I mean? But as you were saying, MOP, Cant Crucify Me. I've been in the game for a long time, in the industry. And I've also went through, a lot of people talk about the industry woes and all of that, but I went through a real life. And the woes of life outweighed the woes of an industry. So I lived a real life. And in that life, I've had a lot of things that tried to put me down and push me backwards. You know, when negative forces are what do you say, are threatened by a powerful force, they throw things in to sabotage. It's not necessarily people all the time. Sometimes it's circumstances. It's the way the universe works. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us give up. A lot of us allow ourselves to be crucified, you know, by things people think about them, by the way they feel about themselves, you know, and like we all suffer from some kind of form of mental issue. And myself, I had to overcome an anger issue and feelings of abandonment, things of that nature. So when I did Cant Crucify Me, that was me placing myself on the cross to destroy the who I was and be reborn as the who I really am. Spiritually, I know that I walked the path of Yehukanan, which is John the Baptist. So my spiritual enlightened name is the with the 369. So in finding all of these things, I had to eliminate every being that I was up to that point. So, you know, they can't crucify me if I crucify myself and then I reborn myself. Then nobody can hurt you. You have to face your own demons. So that's what Cant Crucify Me is really about. You know what I mean? I mastered the ways of all those that came before me.
Ooh. Loving it, man. SP, you gotta chime in.
That was my bar right there. I mastered the ways of all that came before me was my bar, and the ad-libs on the hook was fire. I love the ad-libs. It's hard when you can pick knowledge out the hook. The hook in this song gave you a lot.
Yep.
So when you I was going to ask you a question, but
Good.
Yeah.
But when you made that hook, when you made that hook, what process were you going through with that? Because the entire hook is a verse, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well,
you did that a lot on this album.
Yeah, a lot of my music is that. You know, a lot of times what I'll do is I won't write a song that necessarily has a hook in it sometimes. I'll just write the joint. And then within the joint, there'll be like 4 to 8 bars that sounds like I can repeat it. So that'll want to be in my hooks a lot of times. You know what I mean? I don't write the titles and that. Like, they just come to me. But yeah, like when I did the hook, I was really connected with my parents on that heavily, thinking of everything that I was going through. When I wrote Cant Crucify Me, I just came home from jail.
Okay.
I was home for maybe a couple of months, and I went to jail for defending my family, for doing things that I should, that protected my family birthrights and things.
Exactly. One of the things a man is supposed to do in his characters.
Yeah. So I did that. When I came home, life wasn't the same. I'd never been locked up like that before, so I didn't have any criminal badge on me. I mean, I've been arrested and all of that. I did my dirt as a youngin', but I never got caught. You feel me? But with this, it put that negative stain on me, and just life was just looking in a different direction. And I was like, if I fell into a slump, it got to a point where I was ready to just give up on everything. Violence was my main way out of everything. I got into a lot of fights. A lot of people got protected and things of that nature. And that's really not the person that I am. But that was what life had did to me. So in going through that, like I said, when I did the hook, what was on my mind was everything that my moms and my pops had instilled to me. And everything that my moms and my pops had went through, and everything that I saw them go through, and never seeing them give up. No matter what, they just never looked down on life. So that gave me that energy to be like, you know what, I mastered the ways of all those that came before me. You can't crucify me. I'm not gonna fall. There's no way for me to get off of this because I put myself here. Nobody else did it. You know what I mean? And it was just really empowering. When I did that record, it was just super empowering. You know what I mean?
Nah, it is. It's one of my favorites, man. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of another favorite, man, we gotta keep going on this album. Number 3 is another one of my favorites, Babble. And then you spell it out like so people can actually know. Right. I need this for all the names. Your daughter's name. Your I need this next time. But Babble, right? Number 3. Corey Drumz is kicking optimistic Babble and looking for the answers. We all want his letter to the higher power. So that's what I felt on Babble. Corey Drumz hit me with Babble. What was Babble about, sir?
Babble was my fight with my inner self. With God, for lack of a better term, because I don't like using the term because God means idol, but it is actually the term that we should be using. We are God. And once we realize that, we stop looking outside and asking in the sky for things, and stop saying, I'm gonna put it in God's hands, and I'm gonna leave it up to God, and give Jesus the wheel and all those things, taking responsibility away from yourself.
Exactly.
So Babble was me having that conversation, and that realization is there ain't nobody gonna answer you, bro. You out here screaming and hollering at walls. You're going to churches and you're talking to a pastor that he can't help you because you got to help yourself. Stop asking for help outside of yourself. We are the gods in the earth and the planets in the universe. It's like I tell rappers or people that are aspiring to be quote unquote stars, and they be like, yo, don't you want to be a star? And I'm like, what do I want to be a star for? The universe never looks down to be a sun.
Facts. I love that. Yo, you couldn't put it better, man. SP, what's up? Babble, man. What you think about this track?
I thought Babble was one of the most self-reflective tracks. It was I love the interplay between so-called good and evil, but within yourself.
Indeed.
It was I think that album above most of them is one that gives a deeper dive into who Corey Drumz really is as a man.
Indeed. And the father part is actually a double entendre, because I'm talking about the creator, but also at the same time I'm talking about my creator, my father. I was a kid that my father walked out on us when I was 7. You know what I'm saying? And though I had a good relationship afterwards, I never forget the day that my pops told me that he was going to get a pack of cigarettes. That literally happened to me. You know what I mean? Or when I needed to tell it, when I told him I needed a pair of sneakers, and he would tell me that he needed a pair too. See, I'm not somebody that sugarcoats those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I reflect on them and I face them head on. It was me sugarcoating and putting those things on the side that brought me to the point that I had to release it like I did on Babble. That Babble was me just fed up. Done. Do you hear me? I'm talking to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here praying no more. I'm not asking for forgiveness, nothing. I'm talking to you, yo. You're gonna answer me, or you don't really exist, man. I'm gonna stop talking.
It's like the hood man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look in the mirror, man. You gotta be like, yo, you gotta face your demons, face your angels, face whatever that's going through you. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You're kicking facts yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're getting it out. It's like therapy.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? All right, number 4, man. Another joint, man. That's fire, man. Sold Off, the way you spell it, SOUL with the D. Man, listen, loving the strong chorus. This has to be another one that you probably did with the whole. I think you probably wrote the whole verse. Now we know your secret, man. And so this might be you did the whole verse, and I think you picked 4 or 8 bars for the chorus. I love this. The chorus is strong. It sticks out. But this track needs to be broadcast around the world. Just off the title alone, man. Sold solid. Like it's just dope. Sold Off. Alone is clever. God needs to bless this devilish track. I said because it got that devilish feel to it, but it's a God fearing track.
Yeah.
I like it, man. So what was you going with? Sold Off on this joint, Corey.
Letting our people know who we really are. Bottom line. I mean, we've been told that we are African. We've been told that we're this, we're that. Our culture and our whole people has been lost. And that's what we were sold off. We were sold off so many different times, and then pointed to directions that we came from, and that's not really where we're from. So it was more or less like, I mean, we celebrate holidays, we celebrate all kinds of things that our slave masters and the people that actually tricked us into this belief they pushed on us, and we still running with the same story. And to me, it just doesn't make sense that we still running around celebrating 4th of July when we were still slaves. We jump up and down for Juneteenth. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, we can't get laws and things like that and real meaningful things taken care of for our people, because we focused on the wrong things, because we don't know what the truth is, because the truth was sold to us. So we got to go beyond all of the, your history is from Africa and all of that, because a lot of us, we here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really talking about my indigenous brothers and sisters that's right here.
Yeah, and those are the ones you need to speak to.
We don't own any land. I mean, when you think about it, like they tell us the whole Black Back to Africa movement, right? And I have nothing against, if your heritage and your lineage comes from that place, then great. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Black Americans or dark-skinned Americans, I don't like using that word either. Black, we're not Black, but dark-skinned Americans or people here, we're told that we're from Africa and all of that kind of stuff. And, there's other places that we can be from. You know what I mean? I mean, the first inhabitants of Ireland were dark-skinned people like us. The first inhabitants of China, they were dark-skinned people like us. Everywhere that the colonizers went and they discovered people, they found dark-skinned people like us. The Columbus pictures that they was painting when he went back to Spain, they was people looking like me and you. They wasn't the people that look like the Indians on Bonanza, the ones they put on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They look like us, They leave that story out. So when they tell us to go back to Africa and then we buy into the go back to Africa thing, think about it. If we all left, say we all did say, okay, let's go back to Africa. I asked my Nigerian brother this. Check this out. I asked my Nigerian brother. I said, now say to Chris, because it's a twofold statement. First thing is, I asked my man Chris. I said, Chris, you're Nigerian, bro. And You know, in Nigeria, an Igbo and a Yoruba can't get along. So now, if they were to say, okay, everybody that's black in America, go back to Africa, do you really think that Africa would welcome us? Nah,
No, you know how many gang fights, it be gangs and cliques and
right. We don't
violence
just like anybody else. They look at us as Americans. We're black to them. They're not black. They're African. See, that's the difference. And then
it's another divide. It's another divide.
The other part is this, bro. The other part of that is this. If we did all go back to Africa, who gets this land with all of its riches and all of its resources? They're telling us to give up what's really ours, bro.
Yeah, we built this.
Why would you say you from Africa when you was born of this soil? I don't understand that thing.
Yeah, we built this. We built America. This is ours.
Right. And here's the thing. We're mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff, B. So I'm going to embrace the fact that I'm every color, shade mixed into one. My great-grandmother was half white. So was her husband. So that means I have white in me. But I also have a lot of Shinnecock in my father's side. We're mainly from the Shinnecock line. Also have a lot of Cherokee in me. Yes, I have one black slave, a former slave that I know about in my family, which is my mother's great-grandmother. Other than that, it's people that was here.
Yeah.
So why am I supposed to separate myself from all of these different things, saying that I'm worldly? Because I mean, I'm not American neither. I'm from the earth. I don't care what country somebody was born on. It's all on that planet Earth, bro. That's the way I just look at things.
No, you're right, 100%. SP, number 4, Sold Off, man. Yo, I'm loving this interview, man. So Sold Off, SP, what you got on that one?
So Sold Off was it was the visualization in those first bars were almost too much to take from hanging from the poplar trees. It was a lot. And I was like, oh, he's finna really go there. You know, it prepared me for what was coming. And what was coming was a whole lot of truth, and a whole lot of truth that a lot of people aren't completely ready to hear.
Indeed.
And the way you broke down the history of slavery was immaculate. Everything about that track just felt like home. It was just black with no apologies, and I love everything about it.
I think that was the roots of that album. You know what I mean? It's like the first time somebody saw Roots. When I was a kid, I know I looked at everything different after the first time I saw Roots.
Eyes were open. Our eyes were open.
You know what I mean? And that's what Sold Off was meant to do. It was meant to do that to not only the youth. It's really meant to do that to the older generation, because our generation is the most blinded, because we're the most indoctrinated. You know what I mean? The youth, they have a problem right now because they don't believe in the older generation anymore. Anything that came before them, because they know there was so many lies and deceptions. You know what I mean? Like, we are, sadly to say it, we the embodiment of lies and deceptions. You know what I mean? And that's why this youthful generation right now is so confused. Like, I talk to a lot of kids right now. They tell me they ain't got no big homies. They don't have no OGs. You know what I mean? And the ones they do have, they don't really respect them, because they're not telling them nothing. They're not really teaching them nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The youth want to know this kind of stuff. They need to know this kind of stuff. They need to get the pain away from them, because it ain't our pain to carry this stuff no more, man. We've been carrying this kind of pain for so long because we've been lied to. Nobody wanted to tell us the truth.
No, you're right, man. This is why SP and I started our podcast, and we're doing things of this nature, man, because we're just as passionate as you, man. We want to get something out there, some facts, some good information that people can actually use. Hip hop generation, the youngsters, whoever's listening, man, that's what me and SP is trying to do on our various platforms, man. SP.
And I think people don't especially the older generation, they don't they don't understand that we are the ancestors.
Right.
We are somebody's ancestors. And what are we leaving for them to feed their souls when things get hard? We had ancestors that fed our souls for
Right.
when things get hard. If racism gets too hard on my back, I can put in a James Baldwin and
Right.
become inspired.
Right.
Yep.
What have we left for this generation when things get hard?
Right.
No,
Right.
you're
There's
100%
no
right.
lessons.
100% right. Yo, this is great dialogue, and this is why I like to break down an album, because it brings out this stuff. It's not just it's dope, it's good, it's good. No, these lyrics, these songs bring out conversation. So number 5, Gods and Prophets. I said track straight from the Scarface movie, while Corey Drumz speaks facts and exposes the liars out there. So that's where I went when I heard Gods and Prophets. Corey Drumz, where were you going with that?
I don't believe in churches. They're full of liars and deceivers, and they're the biggest bastions of robbery to our people. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a relationship with them or none of that to get into heaven. You don't have to give somebody a dime to get into heaven. Heaven is what you created. They created this whole thing as an economic thing. You know what I mean? And I'm just sick of it. I mean, that's pretty much it, yo. I don't believe in any of it. Any of it. Your communal with the creator is your communal with the creator. There's nobody that's supposed to be standing in between you and create, because you are create. So you don't have to ask permission to nobody. You don't have to pay nobody off. There's no toll. And that's what churches do. That's what religions do. Religions created it as a business.
It is another split for the people. Like, okay, now these are the good people over here, and then you're over here in the street, the bad people. Like, even if you know what I mean? So it's another way to split us.
I mean, think about it, bro. I used to go to church with my grandmother back in the days, right?
Me too.
And you got the deacon and the deacon's wives. You know, they talking about what this lady got on. Talking about, oh, this person didn't come to church dressed right. Like, wait a minute. Wasn't I born naked? I should be able to walk into any place of spirit. You know what I mean? Because they call them churches. I don't know what that word even fucking means, bro. You know what I mean? But a place of spiritual gathering, you're supposed to be, matter of fact, it's actually encouraged that you go into places of spiritual gathering butt-ass naked. No inhibitions.
Yeah.
Because now you're dealing with the spirit. The spirit don't have that ego that looks at nakedness as, oh, it's a sinful thing. It's a bad
it's good or
thing.
bad or whatever. Yeah, it's like it's not.
You know,
It's not related to anything.
bad when I was born. I was born with nothing on me except blood, bro. So why am I gonna be sitting there worried about what I got on? You know what I mean? Why am I going? Matter of fact, in all the books of religion, they tell you. All of the spiritual lessons, they tell you that you are the temple. You know what I mean? There's nobody in between. I mean, people, the religion is, I mean, especially Christianity is like the craziest religion to me. Because they make all these doctrines, you know what I mean? Oh, you can't worship nobody other than this and that and the third. Meanwhile, they got idols, they got worshiping a dude. You know what I mean? They're not even like they're not even sticking to their own things. You know what I'm saying? They tell you don't, you know, the creator said not to call him in any other name other than his own. But meanwhile, nobody ever says the name. They call him this word God or Jehovah or Yahweh, or, you know what I mean? And which one is it, yo? What's the real name? Did you ever ask what the real name is? Because I know the real name. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's those kind of things. And what it is that religion teaches people not to look on their own. Because as soon as you look outside of it, the first thing they want to tell you is, oh, you sin. That's blasphemy. You're going against. Now, I just want to know if this is true, man. You ain't going to tell me 2 + 2 is 4, and then I don't do the equation myself, bro. I don't have trust like that. I got trust issues.
I like to know the name, but I want SP to talk about this song, man. Gods and Prophets, man. SP, what you think about that? This track.
So Gods and Prophets is dear to my heart because religion is ass. I have always.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's leave it there.
Yo.
Look at how I spell the word prophets. Like that's purposeful.
It's like I love that you didn't you held no punches. I love that you didn't just say this religion or Catholicism. You went down the list of religions and you were dead on. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna pick on these guys. Oh no, it was
no sugarcoating. No sugarcoating.
Yeah, it wasn't no sugarcoating, and it was straight facts. It's the same thing. It's the things I've always said. If you have a multi-million-dollar church in the middle of a $50,000 neighborhood, then there is something wrong with that picture.
Listen, I want Creflo Dollar's a congregation to go to his house and ask him to use the airplane, bro. Like seriously, because it's the church plane, ain't it?
Yeah.
I want to go on vacation.
Yep. Why not?
You know what I'm saying?
Let me use the keys. Let me get them keys real quick.
You know, it's those kind of things, man.
No, I get it, man. Let's get into, speaking of blasphemy, you got number 6 is Blasphemous Bastards, man. Number 6, Corey Drumz is our hip-hop Batman. This dark and gloomy beat with the hint of Egypt got the MC building substance in hip-hop. So that's what I said for number 6, Blasphemous Bastards. What you thought about what's going on this track?
You know, after what I said with Gods and Prophets, you know, I'm considered the biggest blasphemer out there. You know,
but that was an appropriate song to come on next.
Yeah, exactly. But in reality, like I said, what I was doing, because in the beginning, that's a preacher that I'm emulating. You know, saying that you can only find God through Him. You know what I mean? Don't look within yourself. Look outside of yourself. That's the only way you're gonna find it. And that's blasphemy. You know what I mean? So I'm reversing what they talk about as blasphemy and putting it back into the universal context. Y'all are going against universal laws, universal principle. Y'all are violating just about every law of nature. You know what I mean? So who's the blasphemer?
True.
Is it the people that question what's going on now, which is what we're supposed to do? Because why is the question most asked? And it's the only way to get to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it the people that don't ask those questions and just simply accept what they're spoon-fed? You know what I mean? So it's like the blasphemers are the majority, and we are the keepers of the truth, the keepers of the knowledge, and it's for us to say it and speak this truth without worrying about the recourse. You know, exactly. Like I know as far as my content, things like that. Industry doesn't want me around like that. They don't want this kind of information out there. They don't want people believing in it until they're able to put it in a movie and stuff like that, so that people start thinking that it's fake because it's in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but I do it for the people, bro. Like everything I do is for the people, man.
No, listen, we appreciate it. I'm sorry. I said
the people need to hear this stuff, man. The people need to know it, and they need to know that the information is out there. Like people ask me all the time, like where I get the knowledge from, and you know, do I have a book for them to read? And I'm sitting there like, yo, man, there's no one book. There's no one place. No. The truth about it is, I got this knowledge because I read everything, and I'm willing to read everything else. And I assimilate. I take this from this, and like, okay, this is part of this right here, and get rid of the fluff. My mom's taught me how to do research.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And research, the truth is buried in every lie, every last one of them. So for people to say, okay, the Bible is not true, but then they never read it. They never read the text that the Bible came from. They never went back to paleo to find out what those words was about. Because it's all about getting back to the source. Because, you know, we all did the telephone game. We all did. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, the way the biblical text is written, is passed down, is that telephone game. It was a new ruler decided to rewrite this stuff in order for him to place himself within it, you know, and give himself the power of divine intervention. Because then he said, oh, the God, come on, people ask me, oh, what's the best Bible? The King James Bible. They was a fucking king, yo.
Yeah.
He told them what to say. Like, come on, B. It don't make sense. Like, come on.
Yeah, he wrote his own story. He wrote his own, like, you know.
Right. Basically. I mean, who was it? Whose Bible was before him? Constantine's. You know what I mean? And there was multiple ones in between Constantine. And we all know that Constantine was a ruler, and he said, okay, I'm gonna make this thing so that I could get more control of the people, because the Christians or all of the Jews is too separate. See, people don't do this kind of research. They worry, they just want to go by faith. And faith is the biggest fucking liar, man. Faith, belief, all that shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I had my man tell me back in the days he didn't commit a crime, but guess what? He was found guilty. I believed his ass, but he really fucking did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so belief is based on your trust in something. You know what I mean? It's not based on you researching nothing. So everybody that says, I got belief in this, that, and the third, and then, like, for instance, you talk about the Jesus issues, right? This is why I'm a blasphemous bastard, bro. You know what I mean? You go tell people that this wasn't even his fucking name, bro. It couldn't have been his name. Whoever this person was, it couldn't have been his fucking name. There's no J. Oh, well, he knows his name. No, but that name says Hail Zeus. Just Zeus. I mean, the etymology going back into the Greek definitions of what that is Hail Zeus, who was born on December 25th. Oh, these things are starting to make sense. You know what I mean? Why do they call Easter Easter? Because of Ishtar. But they don't teach you about Ishtar. They're going to teach you about these fucking bunny rabbits and these eggs. But nobody knows that was the symbol of Ishtar.
Yo, they are, though. They are.
You feel what I'm saying?
That kid drawing eggs.
That was the story of Ishtar, though. The bunnies and the eggs came from Ishtar. The bunny was
the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. Speaking of bunnies,
you know what I'm saying? So they put the what they call pagan holidays or pagan beliefs. They seeded their whole belief system with them, and the reason they did that was so that the people that they called pagans would follow in alignment with that. You know what I'm saying? It went on generation after generation. You raise a kid on that shit, they never saw what came before. They gonna believe that shit. It's like I told my son, you talking about rabbit hole. If you're born in a rabbit hole, how do you know you was in it?
True.
And when you dig yourself out of that rabbit hole, you're digging into another rabbit hole. So you're ever really out of the rabbit hole? Yeah.
No, you're right. SP, you gotta jump in, man. We talking about number 6. Blasphemous, because he's going in, man. Blasphemous. He's blasphemous. He's blasphemous.
That's why we're blasphemous.
Let's go with this song.
Listen, I did worse.
Yeah, let SP explain how she's passionate about this song too. Give us some. You know what I'm saying? SP, what's good?
Yeah, Blasphemous Bastards is I love the mix, because not only did he describe himself, but then he flipped it and called himself a god, and everybody who's trying to destroy him is some blasphemous bastards. Right. And I was like, oh, that's a nice flip right there.
That's dope. That's dope. That is dope the way he flipped it.
Yeah, that was a nice flip right there. I love that song.
Thank you, baby girl. Thank you so much.
All right, Corey, we're gonna go to number 7, man. Pain, Freestyle, bonus. Corey talking to those maxi pad niggas. That haunted piano got Corey Drumz throwing some evil thoughts our way. You know what I'm saying? Pain, man. So give us your story behind Pain, Freestyle, bonus. Was that supposed to be on the album or what? What's going on for that song?
Well, it wasn't really supposed to be on the album, but because so many people was like, yo, see, man, that rhyme is just crazy, yo. I wound up having it on the album. I had no choice pretty much. You know what I mean?
It's like, yo, you gotta throw it on there. You gotta put
Yeah,
it on there.
yeah.
It kind of like,
mean,
it kind of like told people, hey, I'm positive. You know, I'm a lyricist, but I can get in your ass.
right. Yeah, I mean,
right.
It's like the combination of me being my spirit and that street dude, like you said. That's why we did. Cause I shot the video. We shot the video on a grungy camera in the back alley. You know what I mean? It was just real grimy and grungy. Cause it had nothing to do with nothing except I'll give you pain, man. Yeah, I felt pain in my life, and all of the people that have caused me pain in my life about to get this pain. And that's what that was. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got people close to you that stab you in the back, things like that. You know, this life situations. And that was just me just saying, you know what? I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm lashing out. I'm gonna just lash out and everybody gonna get the pain. Whoever get hurt in this one, so be it, man. The universe said it.
Nah, it was dope, man. It kind of it flowed with the album, but it broke it up a little bit too. So kind of like a great interlude is type if I want to put it that way. What you think about it?
It's a transition point in the album because the following song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna let you announce that. But it's actually a transition point. That's why I placed it where it is.
Okay. So that's how I felt. That's what I felt about it. Exactly. SP, what about you?
I felt that it was like, all right, I'm finna talk some cash money shit and give y'all a break. And then I'm right back in your ass with the next
one. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he was like, yo, it's like he's saying, I'm Tribe Called Quest. I'm positive. I'm calm. And then all of a sudden he goes, Ice Cube, motherfucker. And then he goes back like, yo, I'm this, and he goes back to like De La Soul and stuff, right? So I love it, man. I love it.
That was my old ego because Corey Drumz came from I was a beast, like, you know what I mean? Before LSB963, I mean there's always a lot of science and historical information in my lyrics. That's just the way I write. But I was more destructive and more, I would say more street. You know what I mean? The LSB album was me growing up and becoming, like I said, somebody else. Like the LSB album to me is one of my dopest projects. I have a lot of dope projects that I think I have, but I think this one is one of my dopest because it's really me describing my ascension. You know, every song is really me. It's really every chamber that I went through and that I do still continue to go through in ascending into being better in existence. You know what I mean? Like I have to go through all of those things. The old Corey, I had to destroy him, and that's what that first half of that album is. It's the destructive part.
Nah, I love it, man. Nah, listen, this is why we breaking down these out. This is why I do it, man. And if I get the artist on, it's an additional bonus, man. So number 8 is Anger to Ambition. A lot of people loving this track, man. I heard a lot about it online. This is the song you play at least once a week because it's so soulful, it's real, it's vulnerable, and it's truthful. I feel his pain on this one, man. I feel it. Anger to Ambition. Where are you going with this one, Corey Drumz?
That was me learning how to channel my angers into, instead of being destructive, to use them in a positive way. It's kind of like, when you're mad, you go to the weight room and you work out heavy. Then, I mean, that was me really finding out, like, I don't have to take everything out. And because when I take things out on a violent way, I hurt myself more than I hurt the surroundings. I mean, people get hurt, don't get me wrong, but I hurt myself because my reputation, my who I am, you know what I mean? It eats me up when I have to do those kind of things. And I'm not, because that's not really who I am. That's really where the world took me. So Anger and Ambition was me balancing it and saying, okay, I'm gonna get angry. It ain't like I'm not gonna get angry in life, man. But I gotta learn how to use this different. So instead of taking this anger and letting it fester in me and doing destructive shit and all that kind of thing, take the anger and look at it as a positive thing. Look at it as fuel. Because something that whatever made me angry, I must have it equally passionate one that's attached to somewhere. So I gotta flip it and find its direct opposite. That's we're going with the mathematics as well, because with every energy, there's a correlating energy. You know what I mean? A direct opposite. So whatever's bothering me, there has to be an equal reward. So instead of me focusing on what's bothering me, I take the anger and rechannel it into finding the equal amount of reward on the other side of it. And that's what anger and ambition was. Me letting go of having to, use anger in an angry way. And knowing that anger can be my best friend if I allow it to.
Yo, Lady T says, breaking us down to build us up. Loving those words. SP, jump in, man. Jump in, SP.
Yeah, Anger the Ambition is one of those songs where you start to reevaluate even yourself. Okay, what am I doing with myself? You hear those lyrics and you're like, he changed his ways. He found a way to change anger into ambition, and you're like, oh shit. Well, if he can do that, I can do that. Right. You know what I mean? It's just an empowering, uplifting song. It's something we should all probably be playing every morning to get your day started right. Make you change your mindset and prepare you for the day, because it's one of those songs that not only gets you pumping, but it also makes you think.
Exactly. And that's why I described it that way, man. Number 9, man, N.A.N.C.Y. I already know she's gonna go crazy, but this is how I describe it. I know she's gonna do 8 hours on N.A.N.C.Y, right? So it's an acronym, of course. Nurturing all nature created you. His directly speaking energy to the woman. I like this. The queen of the planet, the mother of the universe. Very spiritual song. I love that it was dedicated to women, or maybe it was dedicated to women in your life, but it probably freaking waved oceans into any woman on the planet, man. This is one of them songs, kind of like a reverse Beyonce song, but for a dude, like a dude just made a Beyonce song, and this is like an anthem for women. You know what I'm saying? It's a lovely record, man. Where were you going with N.A.N.C.Y, man? Talk to me.
N.A.N.C.Y actually was a poem that I had written to a friend of mine, and obviously her name is Nancy. And in writing it, I was writing it in a way to, make it where, because me and her are very spiritual, and she's a very good friend of mine, and I feel that way about her. So, but I didn't want it to be like, okay, it's just about this one person, because we know that we are you and other people. You know what I mean? We look at it that way, as we're all connected. So if this is how she's supposed to be saying that means that woman is supposed to be saying that way. And us as men, being the gods that we are, we're supposed to know that the woman is our universe and be able to describe them in those ways, and let them feel that kind of energy coming from us. Not, oh, she's just my ride or die bitch. I don't want to ride or die bitch, because I don't fuck with bitches. You know what I mean? And we have to. I did that so that people can, women can have a different view of themselves, and it's not about the looks or nothing. It's about who you are. I mean, y'all are beautiful. That's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, without you, there's no me. The darkness that started the universe before the Big Bang, that was a female. That wasn't no man.
Bam. That's what y'all say on. That's what Neville says. What do you say? They go boom or whatever. But SP, man. Let's go with that song. This is your song. Let me be quiet. Let me mute myself.
Yeah, N.A.N.C.Y. Oh God, N.A.N.C.Y. That song, it does something to me every time I hear it. I want to touch you where your soul could feel it. I was like, yes, say that. It is such it just does something to your spirit as a woman. So everything you were intending to do with that song, it worked. Because I heard it in 2020, and in 2022, it still does the same thing to me every time I hear it.
It's nice. You know what's funny? I didn't expect this. I knew that would happen. I knew women would love it. Women would definitely love it. I have a lot of male fans that hit me up about that record, saying that that's their favorite record.
Yo, it's a dope record, dog. It
you
is.
Know? I mean, I mean that record takes me somewhere every time I listen to it. You know, like I said, all these records is therapy to me. So I listen to them therapeutically to go to certain places and just zone out. And Nancy's one of those that, you know, you just want to travel in the cosmos as you're listening to it.
Yeah, it's for so long, just being bitches and hoes, and then to hear somebody bring a song out like this that is so powerful and beautiful and respectful and complimentary, and it empowers you. It makes you made me feel like I am the universe in that song.
Indeed, as you are.
That was the power of that song. And every time I get a chance, I retweet that song because I think every woman should hear that song and feel what you wanted us to feel, because you definitely pulled it off flawlessly. It is beautiful.
I'm happy I did that. Thank you.
See what I'm saying, man? See what you're doing out here, baby?
Real talk.
This is why we listen. This is why we do this, man. This is why we review music like this. And we, like I said, we get the artist, man. Oh my God. It's crazy. Number 10. I hope I don't mess it up, but is it Merkaba? Merkaba. Say it again.
Mer is light, Ka is spirit, Ba is body. Merkaba, light spirit body.
Merkaba. So light spirit body.
Yes, sir.
All right, so on this one I put, it's another one of my favorites, man. All we need is love to heal. MC hasn't missed a beat or a drum on this, man. There's substance, spirituality, various flows, and positive content with a little bit of street delivery, man. So this is what I'm getting off this track. Where were you going with this track, man? I love it, man. It's another spiritual track that kind of got me in the zone as well.
Yeah, Merkaba is like, that's another one of them joints that changed my direction completely. I was working on another project at the time. I was working on another audio movie. And I wrote, I don't know where Merkaba came from, but it just out of nowhere, I started writing this song. And I got to the chorus, and you know, I was at to order up this bottle and pour it in your cup, and it just was ringing and just kept coming to me. I'm like, whoa, my pen didn't stop moving.
Wow.
And after I wrote the joint, I was like, yo, I need to work on this. And that day, the day I wrote Merkaba, I decided to put that other audio movie to the side, and I said, I'm working on this album, and I'm gonna name it LSB963. Merkaba is what made that album happen.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And what a Merkaba is, it's your spirit vessel. We all have it, what we call our soul. It can also be looked at as your body, because your body is the vessel. It's the vessel of your spirit. It carries your soul. You know what I mean? But with your macabre, you're able to leave here and transcend. You're able to astral project. It comes through meditation and things like that, where you're able to separate the spirit from the physical and do all those kind of things. And the macabre is what we see when we see the glow around angels, stuff like that. So, with the rest of my stuff, it's instead of equating divinity away from myself, I am the divinity. I'm as divine as it can get. You know, so instead of saying I'm looking for the Merkaba, I'm trying to get to I'm the Merkaba. I am the Merkaba.
You are the Merkaba, yeah.
You know, and why am I going to be like, oh, I'm gonna talk to Jesus? Well, like again, I don't like using that word, but just the conversation.
Common purpose, and so people know what you're talking about. Exactly.
Right. You know what I mean? Like even the prophet himself, because that's what he was, and his name was Yahusha or Yahawashai. But even the prophet himself never said that he was God himself. He said he said, I come in the name of my Father. He said, I'm the Son of Man. We are all the same. We're the sons of man, not the son of what they consider God. The Son of Man is the sons of creation. And that's what we all are. So we don't have to look outside ourselves. I don't have to be praying in somebody else's name, asking for permission to talk to my pops. I can just look inside myself and start talking. And if I want to travel, I want to get to the moon, then I could train my spirit to be able to do those kind of things. Because we were able to do those kind of things at one time, but we were tricked out of what we imagined.
I've heard that. I heard we can go out of our bodies, which is our souls, and we can travel. Our souls can travel to like universes or wherever.
Yeah, I mean that's why people take that's why most people take ayahuasca. That's why spiritual people take mushrooms. It's to travel that spiritual realm.
To use positive brain that we don't have I guess permission to use right now. You know what I'm saying? I said people do mushrooms and things of that nature, so they have permission to use some of the brain that we don't use or we can't block to use. Maybe it's shuts down
a lot of those inhibitors.
Yeah. Subconsciously blocked or like condition or got housewives in it. You know what I'm saying or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? We could take the mushrooms. We could probably not erase everything that we've seen and heard, but
And the thing with things like mushrooms and smoking weed, those are natural. That's not something that's being processed and all of that. Now, when you running around, you popping LSD and all that kind of shit.
Not that type.
You got a problem, bro. You got a drug.
The real mushrooms are herb.
You get that drug habit, man. I don't care. That's a drug habit, bro. You know what I mean?
Mushrooms?
No, mushrooms. It's not a drug habit unless you turn it into a habit.
Oh, anything, anything. I thought you said mushroom. Period. I said I never even have it.
Anything you turn anything. I mean, meat is a drug. You know what I mean? People are addicted to food. That becomes a drug. Candy, sugar's the biggest one.
Sugar and salt. Sugar and salt is the number one. Killers for black people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Pork. I mean, that's a thing. I mean.
I don't eat meat, pork, none of that, man. I'm good.
Anything done in excess is a drug.
Yep.
Anything done to pleasure systems, not done in the need of survival per se. That's fucking. It's a drug.
It's like a happy stimulus. A happy stimulus.
Yeah, sex is a drug. I mean, let's be real.
Sex is a drug too.
We don't have sex to have kids. We happen to have kids having sex. But, you know what I mean? Animals have sex to have kids.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of, what's funny, speaking on that animal aspect, I was having a conversation with my daughter the other day, and we were talking about promiscuity and why it's looked at where men can have a bunch of women, but women shouldn't have a bunch of men. And I was explaining to her, I said, look, let's take all of the man-woman thing out of the picture, the human aspect of it.
Okay.
Let's look in the wild. Let's look in wilderness. You don't see a female lion with multiple kinks. You see a male lion with a pride full of females. But he's the only male that's allowed to procreate. Same in the gorilla family. Now you go with bees, there's only one queen in that hive. And she has a whole bunch of male bees to have sex with to procreate. Same thing with ants. It's all about survival of the fittest. And I was teaching my daughter this. I said, now, it's not saying that it's right, because when men are doing it, they're doing it on the pleasure center aspect of it. It's not to procreate as much as possible and get their strong genes to redevelop. You feel what I'm saying? It's just to have as many females as possible. But in nature, that's just the way it is. You know, you're going to have one dominant female or one dominant male, and those are the ones that's going to get all of the strong genes to procreate with.
True.
You know what I mean?
SP, jump in with the last track and then just jump in this conversation, man. We need a female's opinion on this.
Again, I don't think it's always right.
No, of course not. That's what close for, man. SP.
Merkaba is another one that's just, you know, mind, body, like spirit and body. It is it makes you feel all of those things. It actually lifts your spirits when you hear it. It's another empowering song. What I love about Corey is he's able to give a empowering song, but gritty. It's so gritty. His music is so gritty that you don't miss that boom bap aspect of it. It's the frequency of the drums. It's just everything is so well connected into his music that you can't help but, when you start this album, you won't be the same when you finish it.
Makes sense.
That's what's up.
Dude, when I first heard it, I was a fan, and then I'm like, I'm listening to all like I think you text me his newest albums, those newest EPs, right? First. So I'm like, listen to those, right? The mini movie and the other. So I'm like, oh shoot, this dude tough. This is nice. This is dope. I'm going crazy. It's musical. It's the frequency, everything, like the sound, right? I'm going nuts. And then when I heard this album, I'm like, why did she tell me about this album? So tell them at the same time. But you know what I'm saying? We're going back and forth in the text. And I'm like, because I'm listening to the music while she's texting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To this, I'm like, yo, what is this right here? Yo, I said, we doing this one. And then to get you on was a bonus, a plus. Like I was like, yo, why not just reach out to him? Why not? See if he says yes. I don't know. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing, and I appreciate you coming on, man. SP, do you want to jump in on the conversation he was having with the song about the birds and the bees, basically?
The birds and the bees. There you go.
We are just in a patriarchal society, and my dad told me the exact same thing. He just told me, hey, I know it's not fair, but you can't do what I do and call yourself a woman.
Right.
And that was just the end of that conversation.
I mean, yeah.
Society is what it is. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't want to have sex with 17 different men.
At the same time, not at the same time, but like in your pack. If that's your pack, think about it. I mean, you
I don't want a pack. I just want one. I have a hard enough time with one. I don't need a pack of them motherfuckers.
Right. That's right. Leave the bees in the hive, yo. I'm good.
So she's a different queen bee, you know what I'm saying? Because she won't be the queen bee and have all them dudes, you know what I'm saying?
She only needs one drone. That's about the size.
One drone. Yeah, there you go, one drone. You had a bonus cut on SoundCloud called "For the Love." Why didn't it not make the album? And then I like the cut. I mean, you think it was more upbeat? Is that why it didn't make the album? What's going on?
Nah, it was because that was supposed to. I wanted to redo the vocals originally because I said my name is Yahuwah, which has meaning, but I wanted to break it to in layman's terms because I didn't want the people that are Yahudim feeling that I was making a Yahudim record, because there's a religion called Yahudim. They're a tribe that follows Yahudah. They're form of the Black Israelites. But I didn't want them to think that song was a quote unquote Yahudim record. So I wanted to change some of the wording to be more broad so that people understood that it wasn't secular. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be, because the name Yahuwah actually means I am, I will be. That's what it means. So, you know, when God gave Moses those tablets, so, you know, I got no story for that one, but the way they tell it is that the way they tell it is that, Moses had these tablets and he give it to him by God by the burning bush. And when he asked him, he said, what should I tell the people to call you? What's your name? And he said, well, I am that I am. And he said, well, wait a minute, how am I supposed to tell that to the people? He said, well, that's what you're supposed to tell them. I am that I am. And in real context, that means I'm all things. I don't have a name.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I mean? I'm everything. I am that I am. Whatever I am right now is what I am, and what I'm gonna be later on is what I'm gonna be later on. But I'm always gonna be I am. So that was really what the context was supposed to be. And so I didn't want it to be singled out. Because as P said earlier, I mean, I talk about all of them. So I didn't want nobody to think that we got a soldier for us. Nah, you don't. You know what I mean? You don't got a soldier. I'm going against all y'all. Y'all all lying, and I'm gonna call out those bubblehead, fake ass woke people too. I get tired of that shit.
Yep, you have to, man. And if I say something, correct me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still learning. I'm learning every day. You know what I'm saying? SP, that last track, the bonus. What you think about it?
I love that track. It was I thought it was left out because it probably, for me, it would not have flowed as seamlessly as the album flows if that track was added.
That was another track as well.
Yeah, it's a dope track. Don't get me wrong. That track is fire. But I did think you left it out because of it wouldn't flow with the vibe that you were putting into the album. That album flows seamlessly. It's well done. It's well sequenced. Everything flows well through that album. And tell them who the producer.
What was the producer? Damn, I forgot to do his name. It was a YouTube group.
You remember SB?
I mean for the whole album. Which
for the whole album. Yeah, for the
album. The album, I got multiple producers. I mean, I got Cardiac Flatline. I did he did Cant Crucify Me. I got damn, there's so many damn names on that. It's crazy. Like a lot of dudes, man. I searched specifically. Like, there's a couple of producers that I like to use a lot. Like I like to use that, man, and dudes like that. So I found a lot of off-brand producers. Oh, Sean Perkins did Guards and Factors and Sold Off. What else? Man, there's so many producers on that album. It's crazy.
Well, since you're like thinking about them,
they're in the credits.
I'm gonna say real quick. So you worked on this album for 2 years, right?
Yeah, that's 2 years ago. I did that album, and that was never like the For the Love of You. I did that before that. I was doing that album too. I did that. That was like a song that I was doing. I did the song and it was just sitting. I didn't have any project to put it to. And then I was actually going to do a project called the 5 books. That's what it was. I was doing a project. I was going to do a project called the 5 books. And that was going to be part of the 5 books. Then I left the 5 books, did the audio movie. I started on that one called Bloody Martini. Then I put Bloody Martini aside to do LSB963. And like SP said, the energy on LSB963 wasn't even close to the energy that I was coming with the 5 books. So it was kind of like, because I was trying to get that out. I was trying to get that song on there, but when I was like she said, when I was fitting it in, the chemistry just wasn't right. It was no song for it to go behind, nothing for it to lead into, really. You know what I mean? It needed its own project, pretty much. So I mean, it was just that good of a song, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna really put it on anything later. So I said, why not put it on as a bonus?
Okay. Talk about your EPs real quick. Then I'm gonna give the floor to SP, man. I know she got some questions, but 2022, you put out 2 EPs so far. Betrayal, a musical mini movie, and then you put out My Life for Real. Tell us about those EPs and why we should be listening to them.
Well, the mini movie, you should be watching that if you like any urban movie with a real plot and real dialogue and real action happens. Like it's just a constant movement. Like Betrayal is crazy. It's like it's dope. I really don't know how to have any other way to describe it except it's dope. It doesn't need videos. It doesn't need none of that. You just put that on and just vibe, and you're gonna see a movie. You're gonna see the whole movie happening in front of your face. It's crazy like that. So yeah, you need to get the ticket for Betrayal, the mini movie. My Life for Real. That is a predecessor to my novel. I have an autobiography that I'm writing, that I've written, and we're in the process right now, still formatting and deciding on which avenue we're going to take with publishing it. But I have a story of my life that I'm telling from birth to the age of 25, and it's about not just my life, but the life of the lives that helped make me who I am, and that's my crew. So the name of the book is TPMF, Total Pack, Motherfucker, The Lives of a House Crew. So, I mean, it tells my industry woes and ups and downs. You know, this is a lot of this stuff that people want to know about me as a whole, not just as an artist. You know what I mean? So, my book is one of the main things, biggest thing that I'm excited about. Like, seriously, my book is incredible. You know, it took about 4 or 5 years for me to write it, because I didn't want to leave nothing out, because I've done a lot. And when people read my book, it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? It's a who's who in hip hop. It's like, my book is so important to the story of hip hop, especially hip hop from the 90s.
Well, when are you releasing it, man? Because like, is it already released, or are you releasing it?
No, it's not released yet. The book is. I'm looking right now. We're looking at some artists right now we want to release it in multiple forms. I want to do it as a hard copy. I want to do it as a paperback. I want to do it as an ebook, but I also want to do a graphic novel. So we're looking for some artists right now to do some graphic novel work for us. I have a publisher that's interested in putting it out, but he also wants me to find a bigger publisher because he thinks it's that important for me to have a huge publisher, somebody that can really put legs under it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And because it's a story, like I said, man. A lot of people don't know, but because I didn't make it, quote unquote, in as far as stardom and popularity in the industry like that. But I'm one of the major individuals of 90s New York hip hop. And I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? I'm proud to be part of the Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito story, part of the the Source magazine story, part of the Lyricist Lounge story, part of I mean, I was down with EPMD, bro. I was in his
No, man, I read that too. I'm like,
so,
God damn it, my favorite
you
group.
know what I mean? So stuff like that, for me to be able to really, really express that and tell what it was like in a real way, you know, not on some more, I'm just name dropping and tell it. Like, it ain't about that. But nobody's more important than my mother and my father were to me. Nobody's bigger than that. So I don't care who you was, you know what I'm saying? And that was part of my issue back then because I was cocky. I had a serious chip on my shoulder because I knew I was that damn nice. And everybody kept telling me that shit. So it got to my head.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Happens to the best of us, man. SP, man. So I know you got some questions for the star, for the king.
No, I was just going to ask him to break down his background with hip hop because I don't think people know exactly who you are. And I think it would be dope if you could just give them just a little background.
Well, no doubt. Well, like I said, first of all, my background starts with my parents. My father was the head A&R for black music at RCA Records back in the 60s, early 60s. My mother was one of his artists. My father wrote the song "Go Now" that the Moody Blues did. His first wife actually did it first, and they did it like a year later. So that was my introduction to the industry itself. It was through my family. But as far as me, I mean, I had my first deal in 1993 with Columbia Records. I'm the first rap artist in the history of hip hop music or music period to sign a multi-album deal with a major label without having a demo. We walked into the office at 550 Madison and round to Faith Newman over a beat tape that we got from K Solo, a producer that he had in Connecticut. And we rhymed over like 6 beats, me and my man. And we walked out of there with a 10-album deal.
Damn.
Columbia didn't really. I mean, we walked in there with no demo and a 10-album deal. Did you really expect an album to happen? So, you know what I mean? So we didn't do an album. I got dropped a year later. Then I signed with Wild Pitch Records. I was on Wild Pitch Records under MC Search, who was my manager when I was on Columbia Records. You know what I mean? I was part of Searchlight Mall, me, Nas, OC. I mean, I can name drop like crazy, you know what I mean? Like prestigious stuff that I've been a part of, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm just Corey, man. At the end of the day, I'm just Corey Lawrence Banks Sr., father to Corey Lawrence Banks Jr., Jamil Banks, Judea Banks, and Nakeem Banks.
There you go.
And I mean, that's really who I am, man. All that other stuff. I'm happy to have experienced it and all of that kind of stuff, and I'm happy to be able to talk about it. But that's not really what was important to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of people will tell you, you know, they industry stories and all of that. Man, I got life stories, bro. Like real shit. So that industry stuff is meaningless. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the best ones, Corey, man. The life stories. That's why we listen to hip hop, because hip hop is like it's your life pretty much. If you're a real MC, you're breaking it down, you're sharing with us, and you're giving us a lot of yourself, and we see ourselves in your rhymes or whatever. We're attracted to your rhymes like magnets. You know what I'm saying? Because we feel your pain, we feel your happiness or whatever's going on in that record.
Yeah.
So. We love it, man. SP, any more questions before I got the last? I got one more question, and then we're gonna like sum it all up.
I know, it's a family affair. So can you talk about your children and how absolutely fantastic of artists they are? They are absolutely fire.
Well, my son, I haven't announced this officially anywhere like that yet, but my son, July, his name is CJ, but he changed his name to JXLY. He's negotiating a deal right now with a label under Universal. He's an R&B artist. So we negotiating a contract for him right now. I'm real proud of him.
Congratulations.
Like it's coming for it's crazy because it's full circle, you know. So I'm really happy about that. My son J God, incredible songwriter, incredible rap artist, but he's an incredible songwriter. Like a lot of my daughter's stuff that she got online right now, a lot of the earlier stuff, that was him that wrote it. He co-wrote a lot of my other son CJ stuff. I mean, he's just an incredible songwriter, incredible talent. Like that's really, like we're really pens. That we pride ourselves in our pen. But my father was a songwriter, so that was the main thing is your pen game got to be right. I don't care if you can sing or none of that. You better be able to write.
That's huge. It's important. Writing and reading is huge. That's probably the biggest two things you need to keep doing every day.
Yeah, I mean they're incredible writers, man. Like, and to be able to write, because I mean you got a lot of people that write songs and stuff like that. They just write words. The fact that they can write and paint a picture, because that's very important when it comes to Banks brand music. You got to be able to paint a picture. Whether the song got a video or not, you're supposed to be able to see visuals. Whether the song is a story or not, you're supposed to be able to follow a storyline and feel as it's the story.
Yep.
And without that, I mean, it's meaningless. It's all cosmetic. You know what I mean? So, like, we really are. I know. I really instilled that. I instilled that heavily because my pops instilled it in me. You know, he used to always tell me, like, I remember writing rhymes when I was really, really young, and you know, I had a rhyme called "Fuck All Y'all." No, fuck you, thing. That was the name of it.
Fuck everything.
I did have a song called "Fuck All Y'all," but that came later. But I had a song called "Fuck It" then. I think I was about 15. And my father he came in the house while I was writing it, and I was listening to a beat and everything. He's like, "What you write?" And I was like, "Man, I can't tell you this one, Dad." And he was like, "No, man." He said, "What's it about?" I was like, "Man, I'm saying bad words all in this one, man." Because every line was "fuck you," "fuck it," "fuck this," and the hook was "fuck it," then, man. You know what I mean? It was just straight up ugly, right?
Yeah.
So I told my pops this, and I'm like, "Yo, man, you know, it's full of bad words, Dad." He's like, "Well, what's the name of the song?" I said, the name of the song is "Fuck It," then. He said, "All right, so let me see the lyrics." He read the lyrics, and it was me telling me, "Fuck you, fuck your mother, and fuck everybody." And he finished reading it. He said, "I like it." And I said, "What?" He said, I said, "How you like that?" I said, "For real, I'm cursing all through it." He said, "Yeah, but what else would I expect with a title called Fuck It Then?" He said, "You stuck to the topic."
Yep.
He said, "You stuck with that topic." He said, "That's what I got out of it. Fuck it then." Great song. And I sat there looking at him like, holy shit. That was the last thing I expected to hear from him at that time. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's dope, man.
He told me that. It was like, okay, as long as I stick to the subject and I really push myself in writing and really visualizing it, because I like to write in composition form. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really writing a story. Yeah. That's how I teach my kids to write. You know what I mean? And they're great, man. Like real talk. I tell them all the time, like, I can't wait till the day I'm able to sit my ass down.
Yo, they gonna retire you, man. Don't worry about it. Yo,
no, I don't want to retire.
Now, I'm just saying they gotta make good money.
I do want to sit my ass down, though.
Family wealth. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? I want one of them to be the most popular out of all of us.
Exactly. Generational wealth, man. They're gonna get you that. That's
right. That's all I'm waiting for. You know what I mean? Everybody know Corey Drumz. You know what I mean? I want everybody to know y'all, man. I want to sit my ass down.
And what I'm gonna do is I want you to feed me that information, so I'll put in the description later, man. And speaking of generational wealth, man, I got another podcast called the Passive Podcast where we talk about various subjects. I want you on that one too. We can talk about whatever you want. We don't have to talk about albums. We talk about like subjects.
Let's go, dude. Because I'm looking up all the sovereignties and all that, brother.
Yeah. So
like real talk, I'm looking at in the register of my birth certificate. And, you know what I mean? Getting my shit back, B. But I mean, I know there's a lot. It's not as simple as everybody tries to make it seem. You know what I mean?
That could be a subject on the show. You know what I'm saying? But so we have that show, and we ask for people to give us passive income ideas. You got any passive income ideas? You can tell some of these young bucks out here how they can make some good money.
Sell merch.
Say it again.
Sell merch.
Sell merch.
Build a brand. Build a brand that's universal, not about your music, not about you as an artist. Build a brand that can go beyond all of that. Get you a dope ass logo, and get you some merch out there.
Like this.
like this right here. You see me?
You like that? Yeah, exactly. I got merch right here. I'm playing. That's dope, man. I love that. I love the hoodie.
This is my merch line, Rise 9 Designs. I've got a poem on every shirt. I got sneakers. I got the whole sweatsuits. I got tees. I got the beanies and all of that. And the emblem is the 963, all in one symbol. Beautiful.
I love that, man. SP, any more questions, man? We're gonna shut it down. We're gonna promote. We're gonna say something positive. We're gonna get out of here, man. SP, what's good? Shut it down.
I just want to say it's a pleasure to talk with Corey again. Check out Powaful Impact. We're working. We're trying to make sure that our people thrive and paying homage along the way to the greats and making sure that you're up to date on the new. But most of all, it is substance to feed your soul. So if you get a chance, check out Powaful Impact.
Most definitely.
We working. Our goal is to get to a place where we can actually provide community gardens.
Nice.
For our people. So that's the goal. And I hope everybody tunes in because we're going to make sure that you are fed when you do.
Beautiful. I'm with you on that. Definitely.
I'm loving it, man. I'm gonna promote real quick. I'm gonna let you shut it down, Corey, man, because I know you're gonna have some great words, man, and you can shut us down, man. I just want to promote a couple of people, man. The chat, of course, myself. I'm gonna promote my boy Warren. Check out his Instagram. I want to promote my one of my best friends' wife's handmade jewelry line on Etsy. Hashtag New Creations 21. I'm gonna another good friend of mine. His wife is doing her name's Jaquetta. She's doing jewelry on Instagram. Check out her joint. Jaquetta _Lynette _ 57. And then Chanelia's Scents on Facebook with Valentine's Day gifts, candles, various weed supplies, maybe like those ashtrays and all that stuff. She make a lot of weed stuff and custom crafts, man. So check these people out. And then, like she said, check out Powaful Impact on YouTube, man. And the SP, thank you for being on the show again. You are a blessing. You're a co-host forever. I love you, man. We got mad love. I can't wait to meet you, and we're gonna chop it up. But Corey Drumz, man. I mean Corey Drumz. Lord have mercy. Corey Drumz.
Oh, man.
No, don't worry. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm reading Corey Drumz. I'm pretty sure y'all they don't confuse y'all.
Man, I get that so much, bro. I gotta man. I knew his pops, bro. Please.
But Corey Drumz. Sorry, man. Just being excited. Bless us with some kind words, some words, to end the show, man, and promote whatever you want to promote, and then eventually, give me all your information I can put in the description later. So let's go. I want you to close the show, brother.
Well, definitely. First off, I want everybody out there to remember to recognize why self exists universal. That way, you can rise and be the person and the entity that you are meant to be, and not the entity that you're told to be. Love yourself. Love life, love light, and be the rise. Don't look for it. Follow me on Corey Drumz 963 on all platforms. I'm Corey Drumz on the streaming platform with a Z. That's the zigzag zig at the end of the drum. And Rise 9 Design is the clothing line. So go to Rise 9 Design Shop. That's RYSE9. design shop, recognized by self-exist, universal. And I definitely want to shout out my kids, J God, July, Jadea Correa, and my son, the silent partner in the background in the big chair, making sure the checks is right, key on the break. You know what I mean? And I want to shout out everybody that's out there supporting me, man. You know what I mean? I thank you all, including you guys, especially right now, because like I said, I went on Twitter and was like, oh shit, I'm getting a review tomorrow. You know what I mean? So definitely a blessing. Shout out to my brother MC Search. He retweeted the interview tonight.
Oh wow. Okay. That's shout out to MC Search. He was one of my favorites. I'm gonna lie, back in the day. The gas face, baby. You gave hammer the gas face. Come on, man. He stepped on the hammer.
Search is the bro, man. Search is the bro. I wish LL had retweeted. He follows me too, but he might not. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Like, I just want to thank everybody that's been supporting the movement from the '90s to now. You know what I mean? From the C-Style era to Tupac, Corp Dynasty, Ike, Ironclad Entertainment, Me by Myself. You know what I mean? And now to the whole LSB enlightened era of Corey being an enlightened artist and not just being a street thug. You know what I mean? I love this life right now, and I love the growth that I've had, and I hope that I'm able to show you guys how to grow and be better people through my experiences. Love and light.
All right, bless y'all, man. SP again, thank you again, man. And yo, all I say, man, yo, you shut it down, man. I love that quote. I love that inspiration. I love your wordage. You just threw some bars on us, throw some extra bars, man. You gave to the show. It's the THHC podcast, man. Episode 68 with Corey Drumz, LSB963, man. Loving it, man. Go get the gear too. Album review / interview, man. All right, man. We out, man. Love over hate, man. Practice it. One love.
Peace.